Psalm 139, 23-24. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. Point out anything in me that offends you and lead me along the path of everlasting life. Matthew 5:48. In a word, what I'm saying is grow up. You're kingdom subjects. Now live like it. Live out your God-created identity. Live generously and graciously towards others the way God lives toward you. God's guidance is almost always step by step. He does not show us our life's plan all at once. Sometimes our anxiousness to know the will of God comes from a desire to peer over God's shoulder to see what His plan is. What we need to do is learn to trust Him to guide us. Of course, this does not mean that we put our minds into neutral and expect God to guide us in some mysterious way apart from hard and prayerful thinking on our part. It does mean God made us thinking beings, and He guides our minds as we think things out in His presence. This quote comes from the book Trusting God, which the Hopeful Women's Group is currently studying, digging deep into how we are to trust God because He is sovereign over everything in our lives, both the difficult and the blessed. He is wise, He is loving, He is in control. He knows us better than anyone else, and He guards our hearts and minds if we let Him. So then how should we live our lives? Back to the verse from Psalms I shared. Point out anything in me that offends you and lead me along the path of everlasting life. I'm going to plagiarize myself for just a moment here, recalling a devotion I shared some time ago. I believe it fits here. I read a message that said, what a different life I might live if I ever make it to the place of 100% accountability and alignment with the Word of God for my life. Yeah, wow, 100%. But for me, that means striving to truly know the Word of God so that I can lovingly defend my faith and my Lord. Another thought from that message says, Jesus didn't argue with those in opposition. He simply shared the truth. I want to live truth and share truth. And beyond that, I want to live love and share love. Many of you are familiar with the quote, preach the gospel and at all times, but if necessary, use words. And this is a quote from Bob Goff. I happen to think he's pretty cool. Love does whatever it takes to multiply itself, and somehow along the way, everyone becomes a part of it. In other words, repeating the verse from Matthew, live generously and graciously towards others the way God lives towards you. I want to live generously and graciously towards others, towards you, the way God lives towards me. He knows me, and I want His love to multiply so that others may see Him in me.